What's going on, everybody? Stefan Martinez, Nicholas Gambaro. Another edition of the Nick and Steph Show is live and on the air. We got a lot to get to today. I'm not gonna sit here and spiel for a minute, so we're gonna just jump right in. So it's been a very interesting couple of days in the sports world since we've seen you last. If you've seen us, you've seen the videos, you've seen us updating the show pages. And so this show is going to be an extended version of that. I wanted to start with Coach Juan Rivera of the Carolina Panthers. Is officially cancer-free, according to his daughter. The Washington football team released a statement on Instagram and Twitter saying that Coach is cancer-free. So our heartfelt congratulations. And
awesome.
That's
Riverboat Ron.
It's great to hear that Coach is doing well and is cancer-free. And hey, Skip, how are you, bud?
Skip.
How are you?
Jets and Islanders tonight. Big game.
Of our heartfelt condolences to Coach Rivera and his family, and we're glad that you're doing well.
Yes.
Now, if you could get a quarterback in Washington, now you might have one with Heineke, but I'm hearing that they're interested in some quarterbacks down there in the capital city. You see, here's the thing. I don't know if you heard the same, but I'm hearing that they are very intrigued with the idea of Matthew Stafford playing in Washington. But I'm hearing Matthew Stafford really wants to go to his hometown, Dallas Cowboys.
That could be interesting.
Here's my question to you, Big Dog. Let's volley this back and forth here a second. Wouldn't you rather keep Dak than go to an older guy in Stafford who's already injury prone? Yes, I get it. He's from the Dallas area. He got some Dallas roots. I'm not mad at that. But Dak Prescott's been a soldier for you this entire time, and you're going to just throw him out like what he didn't matter.
No, I would definitely keep Dak Prescott. Right now, he's a much better quarterback than Matthew Stafford. I mean, Stafford has talent, but I would rather have Dak. In today's NFL, too, especially with being
maybe not. We'll talk about that in a second. I wouldn't go there yet after what I heard today, but I'm sorry, Big O, continue.
I hope he does, Skip. We'll see. But yeah, just in today's NFL, I would prefer Dak. Right. And just Stafford, like you said, older guy, is injury prone. I mean, you could say that about Dak, but he's a younger guy, so he'll definitely come back better from injury than Matthew Stafford. It's such a shame, though, that his career was wasted for so long in Detroit.
Right.
I mean, they made the playoffs, maybe a couple times, but, when he had Megatron for those few years, but they never had a great team around him.
No, I agree with you. Yeah. And look, for all the people that say, well, he should have asked for a trade sooner. I mean, you could say that. But I think that, first of all, there's not very many good teams that need a quarterback. You understand? Every good team, for the most part, has a quarterback. They have it figured out at the quarterback position, which is why I don't think he asked for a trade. But now that you see all these spots popping up, here's a place where Matthew Stafford could really flourish. And nobody's thrown this out, so you're going to hear it from me first. Matthew Stafford in New Orleans makes more
sense. That would be interesting
to me.
Imagine
any other place he can go. Because
I'm doing the show, Mom. I'm sorry.
All good. If it's me, and I know we've talked about, the Colts, and the Colts are interesting. The fringe playoff team, Phillip Rivers did his thing, and they were good this year. Matthew Stafford, does he make them better? He does, but he doesn't have the weapons and the requisite skill set to make an immediate impact. I think if he goes to New Orleans, if Drew Brees is officially retired, which we all believe he is for the most part, then I believe, me personally, then go to New Orleans.
That's definitely the best spot for him. He has to go where there are already weapons. I mean, so does Watson, but Watson is the type of guy. Hi, Kathy. I'll tell you, say hi.
That's a good one. Yep.
That was. I feel like Deshaun Watson, and I don't know, he can make guys better around him. I mean, right. And John, I think you were telling me this too. Like you were giving me some of his stats. Like just with no talent this year, Deshaun Watson put up sick numbers. With nobody. Like Stafford, I don't think could do that. Is that fair to say?
I agree with you. And remember, there's an age difference. What, Matthew Stafford's 32 years old? Deshaun's 25. Deshaun threw for 4,000 yards with Kenny Stills and like
nobody else.
Come on, fam. And I get that's why Jet fans are like, oh, we need Deshaun. We got to get Deshaun. And I get it. But like Matthew Stafford to me makes a whole bunch of sense for New Orleans. He makes a whole bunch of sense for Miami. Like those teams make sense. Miami's coming. Like they, you know what I mean? You want to get in the conversation. You throw
in warmer weather, that could help.
You know what I'm saying? And look, don't give me. And I'm gonna be honest. I don't think the Dolphins believe in Tua. I've said it on the show before. The fact that they're already taking trade calls on Tua.
Right. Yeah, there seems to be that feeling around the team.
As I sip my evening tea here, keep the vocal cords nice and fresh for you guys. But it's definitely something that you have to look at. And this quarterback class feels very saturated. Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford, Deshaun. I mean, Deshaun's going to get the majority of the play. Sam Darnold, the Rams are looking for a quarterback. They're non-committal on Jared Goff. They've had internal discussions about should we trade for Sam Darnold, what it would look like if we did, and all the things like that. So if that's the case, and this is how we're choosing to go about it, then we're going to have a very, very interesting offseason because I do believe that there are a bunch of teams that need a quarterback. The Bears, the Colts, the Steelers might need a quarterback depending on what happens with Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Absolutely.
And look, I know people don't like to hear this. But if you're and I'm not saying do it. But if you're a team like the Cleveland Browns, Baker was great this year. But don't you at least have to do diligence and say, hey man, let's just kick the ties on this. Just see what it looks like. I'm not saying they do it because I think Baker's their guy, but just
right
strength of doing your due diligence as a front office, kick the tires on him. Now, do I think ultimately he lands with the Jets? Because one thing I will say, he has a no trade clause, so he can decide, hey, this is where I want to go. I don't care about any of this other garbage. You can trade me wherever else you want to trade me, but I'm going to New York because that's where I want to be. He ultimately has the powers to do all of that, and we get it. But I got to take the Houston Texans, the general manager and ownership, to task. It's like not the GM, but the ownership. Well, we don't want to trade Deshaun. We think the relationship is fixable, according to Adam Schefter of ESPN. And then you hear stories in the Houston Chronicle about how they feel like it's fixable, and the owner wants to sit down and talk to Deshaun. And bruh, have you not seen what happened to Andre Johnson? Have you not seen what they did to DeAndre Hopkins? No wonder why.
You saw the Andre Johnson tweet a while ago talking about how the way they run things.
My point exactly.
That's a sign right there.
My point exactly. And that's the
guy.
Who
want to go there?
Right. But that's why if you're Deshaun, you got to stick to your guns. And then Adam Schefter was like, well, he can be fined this much if he misses training camp, and he could be fined that much if he misses games. And listen, if you're Deshaun Watson, I know it's easy for us to say because we're not in your pockets. We don't know what your financial situation is, and we don't want to pretend to understand the landscape of your responsibilities financially to family members and those close to you. But you might have to take the approach of, this is bigger than football, man. This is for my mental health. This is for my sanity as a football player. Why would I want to go through this alone? You went 4-12 with a guy that threw for 4,000 yards and one of the best defensive players in the league, and you still were trash in one of the weaker divisions in football.
Maybe the weakest. I'm just saying. I mean, the Colts were good, the Titans were good, but they're not great teams.
No. Right. So if you're Deshaun, like, how do you, like, knowing that they're going to try and impede this process, Big Dog, if it's you, are you just like, yo, fam, I'm about to scorch earth? And I know that's not you, but do you think about going that route where you just call out the ownership, where you call out people, you know?
If you feel that strongly, yeah.
Listen, I don't advise the Jamal Adams route, how you get out of New York, but if that's the way you got to go about it, then that's the way you got to go about it. Scorch earth all the way to hell out.
And I was going to save this for later, but I'll bring it up now because since you brought it up.
Right.
There has been this trend in sports as we follow it, right? They were talking about this on Hockey Central because of what Pierre-Luc Dubois just did the same thing. Like, I want out, said it publicly out in the open to the media, and eventually now he's with a new team in Winnipeg. We've seen it with James Harden in Houston. Now he's in Brooklyn, and we're seeing the same thing in the same city with Deshaun Watson. He wants out. All for different reasons. But my question to you, and I agree with this, what they're talking about. I think this is a new trend in sports that we're going to see. We also saw with Jamal Adams too. Do you think this is only going to ramp up even more in all the sports?
Yes. And here's why. It's a multifaceted answer, so give me some time to explain. Yeah. The reason why I think it ramps up in sports is because the players understand that they are the commodities in which you and I are doing the show. They're the reason why we sit up here every Monday and Thursday and we talk sports and we have dialogue with you fans that watch us and we do what we do. They now understand that they are the commodity in which everything around this industry and this business is built. So if you don't have anything to watch, and if we're not happy with where we are, we can just hurt the product. Either not play or play like trash. You see what James Harden did in Houston. James Harden came back bigger than the Pillsbury Doughboy when he came back. The brother he didn't believe in a diet last couple months in Houston. If he seen something good, he ate it. He wasn't going to the gym. He was going to the see it and eat it school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, listen, at some point, you've seen Jamal Adams, scorch earth. I'm out. Pierre-Luc Dubois, media. I'm out. You know when this all started? LeBron. The decision. Nah, bruh. Not Dan Gilbert. You ain't going to tell me what I can and can't do, who I can't have in a locker room. Listen, once you give a player like that power to run your league, it trickles down to everybody else. Everybody else starts to feel like if they can do it, I can do it too. And Jamal Adams did it as a safety. He ain't even a quarterback. He got
himself comparing himself to Tom Brady, Aaron Donald, which was wackadoo, but
easy there. But he got the job done, didn't he?
He did.
That's the point, and that's why these guys, they're about their money, they're about their brand, and they're about being comfortable. They're not about doing it the hard way. And in Deshaun's case, I don't blame Deshaun for being a bit of a prima donna going, you know what, get me the hell up out of here. I tried with y'all. You traded my best wide receiver, didn't even tell me. He had to find out that DeAndre Hopkins was traded on SportsCenter, my man. Like, nobody told him. How do you not tell your quarterback that we're trading your best wide receiver? Didn't say nothing.
Yeah, that's a sign wave.
What? If I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm calling ownership like, yo, fam, you got to explain to me how this makes sense. How? How we doing this? If you JJ, why? How you not yelling with Deshaun? Yo, y'all both better get us. What?
I think he's gonna go too eventually.
Right. And this is and I don't listen. Do I see it as a problem in sports that these players have this much influence? To some degree, yes, because I think what it does is it hurts the smaller market teams like the Houston Rockets, like now Houston's not a small city now. Let me be careful how I term this, but it's not New York. It's not LA. It's not Chicago. It's not even Philly.
Right, Philly's big.
You know what I mean? So it's like, what happens now to those teams that are trying to maintain a semblance of competitive balance? They don't matter anymore, and it weakens the sport. But you got to also understand how you run things is very important, because look at this. I'll use the counter reversal for this, and tell me if you agree with this. I'll use an NHL and I'll use an NBA example. I'll use the San Antonio Spurs first. Bro, you're in San Antonio, Texas. Nobody wanted to leave. People wanted to come. Play with Greg Popovich. Play with Tim Duncan. Play with Manu and Tony Parker. And you know what I mean? Because they built something there where it's all about the team. The hockey analogy I'll give you, New Jersey's not New York. I mean, New Jersey's still New Jersey, and it's a nice, but it ain't New York. It ain't LA. It ain't Chicago. I mean, you're still in the middle of nowhere. And the Devils were recruiting free agents left. Scott, you remember when they were dominant? Free agents were going
in the 90s, 90s, early 2000s when Lou was still there. So
free agents were going to New Jersey, going, yo, we got a chance to win. We're dominating, and we're playing really well. And money is no object to these cats because they want to win. Is that a fair analogy? Like, am I on to something in saying that? Yes, these players want the bigger market, but they also want a place where they know they can compete for a championship.
Absolutely right. Like you said, LeBron, there's so many different analogies we could make. That's what players want. You know, they want to win. They don't want to sit through a rebuild or that's
right. But I don't blame Deshaun for feeling how he felt, though.
No, me neither.
Deshaun for me is a different case. Like,
very.
I think the difference is, and we're gonna move on from this in a second. The difference is Deshaun Watson. They've shown you time and again with DeAndre Johnson. They traded D-Hop. Didn't tell you. They took your best weapon away, your boy on the team. It didn't tell you nothing. It just told you, I go play. The days of shut up and dribble are done. These dudes ain't going to do that anymore. If they don't like something, they're going to voice their displeasure. Do I think it goes a little bit too far, like what's going on in Brooklyn with the Nets? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I've been told this. Okay? I've been told this by a bunch of different people. What
are you hearing, Skip?
By a bunch of different people. Sean Marks of the Brooklyn Nets didn't want to make that trade. He didn't want to trade for James Harden. But I tell you what he did. I tell you why he did it. He don't know if he could trust in Kyrie Irving to play a full season long term. Where, if you could play a full season long term, where he could.
Interesting.
We're gonna get to that in a second. Matter of fact, we're gonna get to that right after I make this point. He didn't want to make this trade. But if you're in the New York market and you live anywhere around New York City, you understand that Kyrie Irving is as dependable as the elevators on subway stations. They go out when they feel like it. They don't work when they feel like it. If you ever use the subway, you'll get that analogy / joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He had to make the trade. And you got to keep Kevin Durant happy, because if Kevin Durant's not happy, then he'll scorch earth. Which is why you had to trade your draft picks, a ball boy, one of the parking attendants at Barclays Center. Houston bought some of the Junior's cheesecake across the street.
Oh, my God. Go for that.
You know what I mean? The Houston Rockets left full and happy right now. They're like, 4 first-round picks, 4 pick swaps. Okay, well.
Yep.
All right. So this is what happens when players run things, when they have influence, and there's two sides to this coin, if that makes sense. Now on to your Aaron Rodgers thing, Skip. I don't believe that for one damn second.
Really?
Do I believe he's a Green Bay Packer for the foreseeable future? Yes, I do. Because I had somebody tell me and check me on it the other day because they watched the show and they're like, hold up, man, wait a minute. He got 2 years left on his deal. They're still going to get him weapons offensively. It's not like Jordan Love's ready to play right now. And he's already talking about an extension with the Green Bay Packers for another couple years. So as much as he said raw things after the game, you got to remember these dudes, you just played 3.5 hours. Your season was just taken from you. I mean, you're going to say some crazy stuff to the media right after you lose a game. I understand that it's understandable. You wish they wouldn't speak out of turn so much. You wish it was a little bit more reserved in those moments. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers goes anywhere.
I can see him leaving or forcing himself out.
Then you know what? He wouldn't have went on publicly and said, "Oh, I got to talk to who I got to talk to." I don't think he's going anywhere, to be honest. I don't know if they do that. I don't know. I can see what
they do.
They don't help him defensively.
What's up, Dougie? Yes, we do. Let's go, Islanders. We desperately need a win, especially after that horrific loss the other night.
I don't necessarily believe, you guys need this win. Word up. But I
think, though, you know what, too, is another thing, and I wanted to bring this up and discuss it. Remember when they first hired Matt LaFleur, and him and Rodgers were kind of scuffling and having disagreements and weren't really getting on the same page? That may have, that may have something to do with it too. And that play call in the championship game and the way LaFleur's coaching. Like, yeah, it's cool to go 13-3 every year, 12-4, but Rodgers at some point has to be getting sick of it, no?
Right.
I mean,
you're right. No, you're right. You're right.
I feel like in my mind, at some point, like, I think he just wants out, I think.
Here's my question to you, because if at some point you're right, all right, let's play this game a second. Let's draw this out.
And I don't know where he goes or where I could see New England. And
no, but that's not important right now. Let's just draw this out. Let's just say today Aaron Rodgers is at the age of 36, because he's 36. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yeah, around there, yep.
Well, the time ain't – not everybody going to be Brady that plays to you and still looks beautiful. So –
I could see till maybe 39, 40 years old. Yeah. He don't play past 40.
That's a 4-year win. That's not that long, bro.
It's not.
So you're gonna waste another 2 seasons in Green Bay. Just doesn't make sense to me. And here's the other thing. Is that God. He is good, man. Nice and sweet. He's 37. Thank you.
Thank you, Skip, for the correction.
So he's 37. All right, makes my point even better. Yes. He wants to trade. No, stop. No, he does not. Stop.
Nah, even I wouldn't want Aaron Rodgers. I'd rather Deshaun Watson.
Listen, at the end
I know Skip would love that. But
if you're Aaron Rodgers, you know where I go, or you know where I try to go?
Where?
Go to South Beach. If Deshaun don't want to go, let me go.
Or New Orleans.
Nah, Green Bay ain't trading him in conference. Hell no.
That's true. I thought of San Francisco too, but they wouldn't trade him in conference.
They ain't doing him no favors. No way.
Just because he's from Northern California.
No way. But I can see him going maybe New England, but you just dealt with this with Brady, bruh. Like, I'm going to say this, but I think Bill Belichick, you know what the Patriots' biggest problem is right now?
What's that?
Bill Belichick. Because Bill Belichick still thinks that he runs the world. When in all actuality, Tom Brady just proved to you, bro, you're not all that you cracked up to be, fam, because I took an all-star squad.
Do you think Belichick's pissed off or he really don't care?
No, he cares. Because that's he wants to be right at everything. So he cares. He may not publicly express he cares, but he got an ego. So he cares. And the crazy part is, at the end of the day, we can sit here and discuss whether it's who won the trade, who lost the trade. That don't matter. The fact of the matter is, or who won the Brady Belichick.
What about this? Is interesting. What about Rodgers to either the Colts or the Titans?
Rodgers to the Titans instantly makes them a Super Bowl contender.
Right? With Derrick Henry, weapons on offense.
I don't necessarily believe right now with Ryan Tannehill, you're a Super Bowl contender. If you put Aaron Rodgers in Tennessee with Derrick Henry, as you mentioned, A.J. Brown and Jonnu Smith, the tight end, and weapons all over the place, on the K. Humphrey, the slot wide receiver, you all right. Now you got something, because now the AFC South becomes, damn, we got to go through those cats. Not fun. Not looking forward to doing that.
Right.
See, I think it's the other way around now, though. I think Tom Brady just said, "Who's the bigger you know what now?" Because I took my team in the first year to the Super Bowl, and we might win the whole damn thing now. Do I think they beat Patrick Mahomes? I don't know about that.
No, but it's going to be closer than people imagine.
No, I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? We'll see. It's one of those.
But you know he's going to be listening, and who everyone's picking the Chiefs.
Oh yeah. He's off for that. He's like Michael. He's like Jordan. Yo, you want to pick against me? Okay, watch this. I get that part of it, but I do think that there is something to, Aaron Rodgers finally wanting to make a decision. The thing is,
let me ask you.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't like this. I know you would. But do you think your Cleveland Browns make a package trade off of the Green Bay for Rodgers? Because if Rodgers goes to Cleveland, I mean, I'm not trying to get you. I'm asking you the serious question. Do you think the Browns even think of that or no?
I wouldn't do it.
No?
37, bro. I'm not doing that.
But to win a Super Bowl or try and win one?
It's not a sure thing with Patrick Mahomes still sitting there.
And Buffalo.
Right. At least with Deshaun, I know I got equity. I got years I could play around with. Aaron Rodgers, I got a 3-year window and it's a wrap. And then I got to rebuild again. For that, I stay with Baker and see what I can do these next couple of years. Now, if Deshaun was a realistic option, which I don't think he is. I think he's going to end up a New York Jet. I don't think we got to, hide this anymore. I'm just, you know what I mean? I just me realistically speaking, and for the Brown fans that say, "Oh, don't trade Baker. This is all we've been waiting for. He's a solid quarterback. What are you doing to us?" I get it. Well, let's not act like Baker just was perfect these next 3 years. Nah, you can't do that yet. And we
got a long way.
We were just talking about this on the show Monday. I can't do that yet because, first of all, Patrick Mahomes, you don't know. God forbid, injury, a slip and play.
Right. We got a long way till that happens.
And who knows? Maybe he's a product of Andy Reid's system. I want to see what happens when Andy Reid breaks out and he has to play under a different coach. Is he still going to be the same quarterback, or was he a product of Andy Reid's system? That's what I want to see. Because if Patrick Mahomes still plays at this elite level. See, these are the things that nobody talks about because everybody, oh, Patrick Mahomes, he's great. He is great. I'm not taking anything away from him as a QB. But, Big Dog, we know how much of a genius Andy Reid is. That's why Eric Bieniemy ain't calling plays, which is why for everybody that says Eric Bieniemy deserves a job, he does. But
absolutely.
But how much is it a product of Andy Reid calling plays? Andy Reid setting up a game plan.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
like everyone thinks it's because Mahomes is great, then Bieniemy is great.
Right.
That's not necessarily the case.
Right. So that's
with a lot of teams, I feel like, where they want to hire a offensive coordinator or a coach.
Right.
But it's maybe not necessarily them calling the plays.
And I'm going to tell you,
the quarterback.
This is going to show you how much of a great coach Sean Payton is too, because now you don't have Drew Brees.
Right.
Now it's like, what type of coach are you now? when Drew Brees is not there, and you got to get another quarterback in there, and you got to start from scratch, or you got to bring in a QB that you're not all that comfortable with. What happens then? How does it change? What do you do as a head coach? And not that I'm trying to catch aspersions on Patrick Mahomes. The boy's been nothing but sensational his first 3 years in the NFL. 3 straight championship games. I'm not that crazy to say he's a bum. I ain't doing all that. But let's not act like Andy Reid did not play a huge part in getting him to where he is.
Definitely. And even the play call, like, even not to bring it up, but like the play against you guys at the very end.
There you go.
Other play calls we could, I mean, even with Philadelphia, I mean, he had a huge amount of success. Now, he didn't win there.
Nah, but he made Donovan
they
McNabb.
made constant conference championship games.
He made Donovan McNabb look like a Hall of Fame caliber QB, which he ain't.
Multiple championship games they went to and division titles. So that one Super Bowl appearance.
My point, right? So, like, I want to see how much of a function is Bieniemy and Mahomes of Andy Reid's just great offensive genius,
right?
Or can we both get this to translate to, further successes? You know what I'm saying? Now, you can't teach Mahomes' athleticism and smarts and arm strength, and all that is unteachable. I understand that 1,000%. But I do understand that there are other things that are in play at play here. You know what I'm saying? So while we want to sit here and anoint players and say they're the next this and they're the next that, we have to see how things play out. Because I use this analogy. Is Michael Jordan without Phil Jackson? Probably not. Probably not.
Everyone was asking the question, is Brady, Brady without Belichick?
Probably not.
Although now making the Super Bowl in his first season with Tampa.
You might have credence, but it works together. I ask another question. Do the Yankees win 4 out of 5 championships without Joe Torre and his even kill style, with George nipping at his heels? If any other managers there,
right,
implode.
Do the Islanders have the dynasty years without Al Arbor as coach?
Right, there you go.
Greg Popovich. With no Popovich, would there be a Spurs dynasty?
Would there be a Argentinian South in San Antonio with Manu and all these other cats down there? Like, I felt like the Spurs were the United Nations for like 20 years. French had the Spaniard, had the dude from St. Croix, had the, you know what I mean? Like, damn, bro, wait.
The UN.
What nationality don't you guys have? But they won. And
that's what matters.
All right. And sometimes for all that say, oh, it's not pretty, they didn't play pretty ball. Like, listen, if you're the Islanders, I use this. The Islanders, they call you guys boring. I was like, bro, there's nothing boring about making a conference finals. If you don't like,
and we score. If you remember, we did score a lot in some of those games. It wasn't like we didn't score.
Right.
Some games maybe was 2-1 or 2-0 or 2-1.
You're not going to score
1-0 games.
You're not going to score 6 goals in the playoffs. So that's not happening.
No.
So you got to win games ugly sometimes. I just don't understand this narrative of, well, we got to win and we got to win a certain way. No, you win the way you can win. I don't care. Like, come on now. And this brings me to my next point. I'm going to do this. Please allow me to do this. We're going to get to we have a lot of stuff still to get to, but I have to do this.
Okay, Zoom.
So,
shut up the TV.
Yankee fans, I have a beef with Ollies. Ollies. Uh-oh, he's ready for this.
I love when you trash talk the Yankees and the fan base.
Listen, if you're a Yankee fan, you might want to listen good. Okay? You might want to listen and listen good because what I'm about to say is truthful and it's going to hurt some of you guys, okay? For all the people that says the Steinbrenners don't spend money like they used to. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Last I checked, the Yankees payroll last year was $250 million. The highest payroll in baseball. Oh. You just got the best free agent pitcher to come down the pike in the last 10, 15 years. Ma, door.
You keep it down.
So, like, for all the people that don't, oh yeah, no, it's not the way this works. $250 million payroll. They just got DJ LeMahieu back. That if they didn't bring him back, we'd have been burning Cashman at the stake. Cashman's a bum. Cashman, you suck. Cashman is this. I don't understand. Blah 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 blah. Do you understand they got DJ LeMahieu back for $15 million a year? They got him back at a bargain, okay? Okay, and then, oh, well, we need to address the pitching. So what does he do? He gets Corey Kluber, who, if he's healthy, still probably one of the top 15 pitchers in the game. And then you go get a young cat like Jameson Taillon, whose upside is crazy. Oh, by the way, you want to know how much money they spent on both those pitches? $12.25 million.
Wow.
You understand? And you got him for a bargain. Now, granted, Severino might not come back. You got to see how everybody comes back. I get it. But for the love of God, you know what this poor soul would do for 30 straight years of playoff appearance of being over 500? Do you know what he would do? You know, I know we joke and I say things like, big dog, you don't understand. We haven't won in 90 years. We joke. But to call the Steinbrenners cheap, are you on drugs or something? Yankee fans, have we all hit our heads? Are we all okay? Are you kidding me with this garbage? What? What is this? Are you kidding me? Who did you want? Who was there in this free agent market that you wanted? JT Realmuto? No, sorry, not playing a catcher till he's 34, $110 million. Nope, not doing it. Not giving James McCann no money either. Nope, not doing that either. Nope. Who you want? George Springer? Really? You sure? Not doing that either. 6 years, 150. You sure about that? Who you want, Yankee fan? Oh, well, we should have re-signed Tanaka. Yeah, I get that, but Tanaka wanted $20 million a year. There's no way he's worth $20 million a year. Hell to the no. Hell no. Yankee fans, I'm asking you now, Yankee fans, where has he gotten this wrong? Can I go through this, big dog? Can I go through this? Where's he got this wrong? You traded Aroldis Chapman for Gleyber Torres. You got Chapman back. You traded John Ryan Murphy, who's no longer in baseball, your backup catcher for your center fielder, who you're paying $10 million a year. Okay? Wait a minute. You got DJ LeMahieu back making no money. Making no money.
No, he's not talking about you, Skip, but other Yankee fans.
Bro, he got Gio Urshela for $25,000 off the scrap heap for nothing.
For the Yankees, that's like chump change.
That's like sofa cushion money. Yo, are you kidding me? But you know, we're not good enough. We can't win a world. Go out there and earn it. Now, granted, is the Stanton contract painful? Is it painful? Yeah, the Stanton contract sucks. It sucks. I'll stipulate that, Your Honor. It sucks. But this is the same guy you couldn't get out in the playoffs last year. He was unbelievable. Unbelievable in the playoffs. What did he hit? 5 home runs in the playoffs? For the love of God, Yankee fans, get a grip on yourselves. Get a grip on yourselves. Jesus. I don't know how many times I can get on the show and do this. Because if I hear another Yankee fan either on my timeline, on Twitter, on any of these shows, I'm gonna break some.
They say some asinine things.
I'm tired of it. We should be spending more money than we're spending. What? Cohen's out here spending all this money.
Yes.
Cohen's out here spending all this money. I don't understand it. Steve Cohen's out here doing what he got to do. And what are we doing?
Okay.
We're signing what they call, we're signing third-rate pitchers.
All right.
Good enough for us. I don't understand this. Steve Cohen spending some moon in the stars.
Grandpa Joe.
I don't. And please don't give me the Steve Cohen thing. Steve Cohen's a gajillionaire. What do you think? He was going to take his money and not spend it? Get a grip. Get a grip. And even with Steve Cohen and all his money, the Yankees still have the highest payroll in baseball.
Still.
Right now, yes. And that's with Brett Gardner still not signed. That's with them still wanting another starting pitcher. Where are they cheap? Where are they cheap? Where you cheap? Cheap. To quote Ralph Cramden, cheap. Are you, Big Dog? Am I going crazy here?
Nope.
Am I?
I've been screaming this for years.
Can you help me? Can you help me here? Am I losing my mind?
Yankee fans are spoiled brats. That's what they are.
Jesus Christ. Cheap.
You just said it. How many Met fans or other teams would just love to have the Yankees track record of success?
Thank you.
The past 30 years, 5 World Series.
Thank you.
Couple of other appearances.
Thank you. Right.
You're over 500 for 90 straight years. Division titles up the yin yang. I mean, how much more? Like, I can't fathom it. Again, I've ranted about it many times on the show, but it's like, at some point, like, you gotta just stop. Excuse my language. Gotta stop bitching. You gotta stop. Gotta stop bitching and complaining.
And crying, oh, we don't got enough. What do you want?
Thank you, lucky stars, that you root for a team who's that good.
Listen, can I be honest with you? Brian Cashman saved their bacon. How many times has Brian Cashman saved their bacon, bro? Where you're just like, oh, shit, I don't know what we're going to do. And then what does he do? He pulls a rabbit literally out you-know-where. Literally out of you-know-where. He pulls a rabbit. The rabbit appears. And the goddamn thing starts walking around the house. Help me here, people. Where did he get it wrong? Where did he get it wrong? And if everything goes according,
they're not. Know why? Because they're not buying every single superstar every year in free agency.
How'd that work?
They haven't been to a World Series in 10 years.
How'd that work out in the mid-2000s with Carl Pavano, Randy Johnson, and a bunch of other travesties? You want to go over this? Kevin Brown? You want me to do this? Kagawa? You want me to go over this? Jason Giambi? You want me to do this? How many contracts? How did that work out in the mid-2000s? Jose Canseco? You want me to do this? Because I could do this. Let's get every star known to man. A-Rod, Matsui, Tony Clark.
Oh, Matsui was good for you guys.
But yeah, but I'm saying Bobby Abreu, this one, that one.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, I mean, for God's sake, what do you want? What do you want from him? Help me, Lord. And this guy had to suffer through friggin' 90-year-old Mo Vaughn and you know, remember Jason Bay?
Jason freaking Bay.
Remember Jason Bay? Remember him? Okay? You had to suffer through the Yoenis Cespedes garbage over the last couple seasons. Okay? You gave Johan Santana a gajillion dollars when he was 90.
In the last 30 years, 2 World Series two trips of the World Series for the Mets, didn't win them.
There you go.
How many? Barely any division titles.
There you go.
Barely any playoff trips. I mean, come on.
Right. So
Yankee fans, you get everything. Everything.
How many years?
Now things are changing because of Stevie Cohen, but
right.
I mean, come on.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
Like, get over yourself. Get over it. What do you even have to complain about anyway?
Right. My point exactly.
You root for the most successful team in MLB history. One of the most successful teams in American sports.
Right.
North American sports. World sports, for God's sakes. Like
so Ange asked me, the Yankees going after my brother Angelo, he asked me, he's like, oh, the Yankees going after Trevor Bauer. I was like, no. He's like, why not? I'm like, this is not worth the money he's asking for. He's like, oh, if I'm us, I'd do it anyway. I'm like, nah.
That's what Father used to do. That's why. You didn't care what the price was. Let me shell out a few million and we're good.
It's a different time now.
Right, and especially with COVID, now the Yankees got money.
No, but they lost a lot too, though.
But I'm sure they're still fine, though.
No, I mean, they got money. What I'm saying, the printed press has actually stopped up.
Buying all that Yankee gear, they'll be all right.
No, but like everybody's dealing with something because of this coronavirus. It's not easy, but Yankee fans, get a grip. Get a goddamn grip. I mean, really. And for all those, I hate seeing the Mets spend. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Big dog. I'm gonna say this for you. I'm gonna say it for you. They're losing already.
No, but they give me a heart attack early.
All right, because I saw your face a couple.
It's still 0-0, but
I'm like, somebody must have given. Let me turn this on here because he's nervous. The facial expressions he's giving me nervous. But like, for God's sakes, like, why can't the Mets have a Frankie? Why can't they have them? Why?
The Yankees, they don't want the Mets to have anything good.
You know how idiotic you sound? Do you know how idiotic you sound, Yankee fans?
Some Yankee fans hate the Mets. It's just the way it is,
That's stupid, okay? Because when you were winning and they couldn't say boo, and all they did was you kicking them in the teeth year after year. Yeah, kick you in the teeth again. Let them have their day of jubilee. Stop being freaking party pooping Sally. That stop. Party pooping Sally's. That's what I'm gonna call you.
That's a good one.
Or as Frank Barone says, party pooping Nancy's. I don't know. I like Sally's better. Kind of fit.
Yeah.
Party pooping Sally's that don't want to see nobody else happy. If you're miserable, why the whole rest of the world got to be miserable? I hate that I root for this team sometimes. I really do. I love the players. I love the organization because they would run things. I run things, but I can live with like 3/4. I can live without 3/4 of the fan base. 3/4. All the seats are expensive. Oh, we should be spending money. We shouldn't be. You know what? as the beloved Italians say, you know what? I have some verbiage that I'm not gonna use, but it starts with, you know what?
Get the out of here.
Or up yours. It's another way to go too. Oh, I got the game on her. Okay. Oh my God, Bailey took a shot. Bailey.
Bailey, you're a bum, Bailey. You're a bum, Bailey. Oh my God. Just passed it to you. Skip the puck away. No big deal.
No, but like, come on now, man. You know, and like, you're not entitled to anything. Like, you are not entitled to nothing. You weren't born. Like, it isn't your birthright to go to every World Series champion. I'm sorry, but
then apparently somewhere in the Yankee Constitution, whether it's made up or real, I don't know. Apparently, the manager can't ask to wear the uniform. He's not allowed to wear a hoodie. Is that true?
Did you not see Joe Girardi at the end in the postseason freezing his what?
That was one of the most stupid phone calls I ever heard on any radio show. Oh, did you see this guy Boone wearing a cut-off hoodie? That's not the Yankee way. That's not the way.
It was an old antiquated jerk-off that was born in like 1954 who doesn't know what the times are. I'm sorry to be ageist, but people, get a grip. Get a grip. So he got to wear a jersey in the sweltering heat when it's 98 degrees out and sweat his you-know-what's off because it makes you happy.
No, he was actually, wearing a hoodie in summer. I don't know why, but
cut off sleeves. There's no
right.
Yeah, but like, so what? We gotta be the fashion police too. Get out of here.
According to most Yankee fans, I guess this Constitution that's at the bowels of Yankee Stadium.
Well, most Yankee fans could. I'm not gonna. Speaking of getting out of here and moving on and doing something different, the Pittsburgh Penguins, fired they part ways with the general manager.
Yes, Jimmy Rutherford, longtime general manager of the Pittsburgh Penguins, has resigned due to personal issues. Now, the Penguins president said he is healthy. It's not a health issue, so knock on wood, that's a good thing. We don't want anybody dealing with any health problems. Patrick Alvin will take over. Currently, he was the assistant to Jim Rutherford, so now he'll be the interim GM. Mm-hmm. But you heard this, Steph, and also the great Elliot Friedman, who reports for Sportsnet up in Canada, says that there was the reason being was a possible disagreement, or not possible, a disagreement where Jim Rutherford felt that the Penguins were kind of like their window was closed. 1-0 Islanders.
JP Pajot.
Hold on, I missed the goal. I gotta go back and watch just a minute here.
Was it Pajot?
Let's see here.
Looked like it was Pajot. No, Oliver Wahlstrom.
There you go. Oliver Wahlstrom, one of the youngins. Him and Bellows. There you go.
Squeaker.
It was Wahlstrom. There you go. His first goal.
As Big Dog has his moment, but
yeah, deflected. But yeah, so basically Jim Rutherford felt that
Oh!
Yeah! Missed it again.
Peter Laviolette is like,
He's fired up.
On the bench, he's like, "Are you mother?"
Tipping, Casey Cizikas. There you go. Let's go. This the start we needed here. That Barry saying we're not in playoff mode and I'm pissed off.
Listen, I think me watching out on the games is a good thing for you because
keep the game on. Don't turn it off because they just scored 2 quick ones and we need this win badly. Oh, what a beauty! That's hockey right there. Getting to the net. See, you get even analysis on the show. It's
you know what I mean.
This is why it's the best. Watch them score another one as I try and talk about the Penguins.
All right, can we get to this Penguin point? We've been interrupted twice.
Listen, this is a big game here. And the president of the Penguins and ownership. No, you're looking. Am I missing something? Believe. Clear it out. Okay. Keep pressuring them. All right, we got commercial.
Viewership. You guys are disappointing me tonight. Viewership.
How many viewers we got right now?
None.
What?
Keep going. I want to get to this hockey point because I'm fascinated because I got some things. Go. Give me something. So it wasn't health related, is what you'd be. What?
Right. Jim Rutherford believed the team's window was closed, and the Penguins ownership and president believe it's still open and they could win. And Jimmy Rutherford, there was a rumor, although you confirmed it, that he actually did try this, not a rumor, where he tried to package Chris Letang and a few other things to teams and called around the league and tried to trade him. And ownership and the president didn't like that, and there were some disputes.
Right.
And he just felt too. Also, he's up in age, and maybe now again, it's not a health thing, but maybe he was just thinking, you know what? They don't agree with me. I don't agree with them. Like, we're going nowhere with this. Like, maybe it's just time to call quits. He was there for a long time. He won 2 cups with them when they won back-to-back in 16 and 17. He also was in Carolina in 06 when they won the cup there. But yeah, it's just an interesting, because that's been the debate for the past few years after being swept by the Islanders and then last year losing to Montreal in the first round.
Wait. I'm going to let you finish your point, but how about this for Petty?
Okay.
The Browns need to think about a Deshaun Watson trade. So who likes to tweet? Baker Mayfield. Who retweets the tweet? Baker Mayfield.
Why?
Things get interesting, boy. Wow. No, yeah, it's here's the thing, Big Dog. You're the hockey guru on this show. So I come to you. I come to you with these questions. I come to you with these concerns. I come to you when I have questions I don't really know the answers to. I can give you some more reporting on this if you like, because I do have some additional reporting on this. So if you want, we can dive into this, because I do want to get
on the Jimmy Rutherford thing, definitely, because I'm curious well.
I have a lot of reporting tonight. We're gonna get to it all, by the way, because you're not seeing us till Monday, so the show's gonna be a bit longer than usual. But you know what? We give you quality on the show. If you don't like it, well, You can always watch First Take in the mornings and hear them bloviate and yell at each other for 2 hours and learn nothing. On this show, we try to teach you something. Anyway.
That show sucks.
Yeah, well, so he didn't try. I mean, he didn't say I'm gonna try and trade you. He said we looked. We canvassed the NHL. We said we're looking to trade you. Whatever that may mean, that is a bit disconcerting if you are a fan of the Pittsburgh Penguins. But listen, the older guys always know, and maybe I'm not trying to say this is an age to be ageist, so please don't take it that way. Big Dog, let me know if you agree with this or not. The older GMs always know when the window's closing probably more faster than younger guys do. And I wonder in this case, since this guy's been around for a while, like you mentioned, he was in Carolina, he was in a bunch of places, he was doing a little bit of, he's been everywhere.
He played in the league too,
right? So
he's been around.
His experience should count for something, and I think that needs to be stated here as we go through this. But I do think it's necessary to say, you know what? You guys can't understate the importance of what I'm trying to teach you. What I'm trying to teach you is the window may be closing because we've said it on this show. Sidney Crosby's a year older. Evgeny Malkin's a year older.
Letang and
a year older. Right. So when do you...
They got rid of Matt Murray.
Right. So, Big Dog, if that's the case, I would think you hit the reset button. You see age. You see guys creeping up in age. You see how it's not an easy thing to do to automatically say, well, you know, we had this team forever and we've been doing this a long time. Like I told you at the beginning of when I told you before the show, the Phillies did the same thing with Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley. They held on too long, and then you wondered why it didn't go the way you wanted it to go because we held on for too long and we didn't blow it up fast enough. Like if you're the Penguins, you got to think about maybe trading on Letang wasn't the worst idea in the world. Maybe that was like, okay, maybe we can refresh this. Maybe we could get some younger blood in here, give Sid some fresh perspective, get him some young, fresh legs, and maybe we can make a run. But what happens is everybody's so used to, but you know, in hockey, I feel like it's an older guard where you don't really want to let go. You kind of just want to stay with what you know, stay with who you're used to. Am I right in saying that? Where it's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Where it's kind of hard to move on from players you know.
Right, and especially that have been there for so long and done a lot for the franchise.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, Letang's won with them. All these guys have won cups. They've been on deep playoff runs. The Penguins have been one of the most successful teams for years. So,
and that
I've been kind of on the fence. I always still lean towards, they could still do something. I don't know about a cup, but they're still dangerous. Like, you can't overlook them. But now you kind of look at it and it's like, you know what? Maybe you can a little bit. Like, maybe it's okay to say, yeah, you know what? They're not the Penguins of old. I didn't pick them this year to make the playoffs. I think they just miss it.
And I'm just gonna say this, and I'm maybe starting some conspiracy theories, and other people may get upset that I'm mentioning this point. The other way of saying, well, he's getting up in age, he's getting older. That's a nice way of saying, well, he didn't do what we wanted him to do, so we use his age to get him out of here.
Right.
To me, that's what that feels like. And you could say, well, you're wrong for saying such a thing. You weren't in the room. You don't know what went down. We don't know what went down. But when you see how much experience this guy garners and respect he garners around the NHL, you saw it from reporters that were like, oh, my God, they let him go? Like
it was a shock. Nobody expected it.
Like, and then they would use the word, well, the timing of this is really awkward. It's like,
yeah.
Why would you do this now? And now you could say, well, he had a year left on his deal, so they figured out we were going in a different direction anyway. That's a fair point to make. But can I bring you deeper in the front office perspective? Can I go a little bit further with this?
Yes.
If you didn't know, if this is the way you felt all along, then why didn't you relieve him of his duties before the season started? Why did you let him build the roster the way he built the roster? Why did you work in consultation with him to do some things? If you if you ultimately felt that him stepping down was the best move for the organization. I don't get. That is the part that I don't understand. I don't understand how you can go from, well, we're not really sure to, oh, well, maybe. And no, I don't get that. That makes no sense to me. What do you think, Big Dog? Because I'm very baffled by this whole thing.
I thought, too, that they would have, like terminated the contract or, just parted ways before the season, because that doesn't make sense either. The same thing when they were talking about with Pierre-Luc Dubois. Like, why did you sign him for 2 years if, and then now all of a sudden, or why did they were questioning him. Why did he sign the 2-year deal? Then now all of a sudden he wants out.
Now he wants out, right. And the frustrating part about that is if you're Dubois, you got to be looking at it and go, what the hell am I signing back here for?
But now apparently, and I got to go back and research this, but they were talking about apparently Tortorella saying some stuff publicly on a Columbus radio show about Dubois.
Why am I not surprised?
So that was the first time I heard that. That's maybe what's kind of set him off and made him feel like, yeah, I don't really want to play here or for this coach.
Why am I not surprised?
I'm not either, because Torts, he'll just say whatever he wants.
John Tortorella decided to say some foolishness. Are we surprised at that? No. Are we surprised at the fact that he wanted to speak to the media? Are we surprised he went public with his displeasure with everything? No.
And then, like, the Columbus media kept asking him, like, oh, what's up with Dubois? And then he's like, you're asking the wrong guy. You're asking the wrong guy. You got to talk to him. Talk to him. Like, he kept deflecting at all the questions. But apparently it's your fault that he's leaving or wants to leave.
Then, you know what? Then you shouldn't be a head coach anymore. I'm sorry. If you can't man up and answer questions, because the media is going to pepper him.
He always goes around every question, whether they win, whether they lose. It just, he's a jerk.
Like, but Tortorella, then I'm tired of your act. Because when you get a coach like that who says, oh, we need accountability from people and we all have to be accountable and we can't leave the organization in peril. When you do things like that and you choose not to answer questions or be culpable for whatever decisions you make, you got to wear that Tortorella, and you can't blame players for turning around and going, you know what? Forget this dope. I'm not playing for him. For what? So
I would never want to play for a guy like that.
So he can tell me how much I stink. So he can tell me how bad I am. So he can tell me all these different things about myself. And honestly, the whole act with the media, I'm tired of it. Like I'm tired of.
People find it entertaining. I'm like,
it's not entertaining anymore.
No. Now when he loses, I like to watch it so we could, watch him be.
But
even that, it's like
you come across as an immature sore loser who can't take a loss for nothing.
Right.
That's what you come across like. And honestly, the more and more you watch him, the more annoying it is because you're like, yo, how are you still employed? What a lack of professionalism. So I have to ask you, and then if you're the rest of the locker room, how are you looking back at this going, are you serious? This guy's literally letting this happen? And he's saying nothing? And nobody's holding him accountable going, hey, John, you kind of want to get a public feel for this? Because these players could turn on you in a minute. Now, I know in the NHL that's not really how it works. They're usually very mum's the word in the NHL. But at the end of the day, they're athletes. They're not just going to sit there and just take it.
Exactly.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, you sound so, this is the way I am. And no, that's not the way you are. You are a freaking idiot.
What's up, Emilio?
What's up, man? No, but that's not a good excuse either.
Towards being taught.
What does that mean? So we can treat people like garbage because that's just torch being torts. What does that mean? Tell me what that means.
I understand what Emilio's saying, but I get what you're saying, though. He shouldn't act like that.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, that's just the way he is. He shouldn't act that way. 3-0 Islanders. There you go.
So coach being torts, right? That's like the whole Manny being Manny thing. Well, Manny's a little bit of a loose cannon off the field, but Manny's a bit of a goof. But Manny hits 40 home runs a year, so it's just Manny being Manny. Like, what? Bro, you have to – there has to be some accountability with you. Like, you're a head coach of an NHL team. Like, you can't just expect people to say, oh, yeah, well, this is the way I am, and I'm John Tortorella. And then, so what does it mean? Like, and you know, I'm very curious on you know, the people that watch. I'm very curious on your thoughts with this, because I'm not the smartest hockey person in the room. This guy is as knowledgeable.
You're smart there. You know a lot.
No, but not like you. So I'll defer to you and ask you this question then. Right? How does it look, right, when you have front office people leaving their jobs midseason, Tortorella allowed to say anything they want? What does it say for the lack of power about these players that, you know, your coach can come out and say stuff, your GM is essentially fired for doing his job, for doing due diligence? What does it say about the sport, the state of the sport, where the players are not given the freedom to express themselves? I know the players rather would be in the background. They would rather be the people that we don't hear from. But what do you think it does to the sport overall? Because
nowadays, I think they can speak their mind, because, look at Dubois. So,
but that's a 1 in 100 chance, though. A lot of players don't do that in the NHL.
No, but I think it's just the way of hockey players. They're not really, they're just very quiet. They go about their business. Like, they go to the rink, do what they got to do, and go home. They don't really say too much. There's usually not very, depending on the player, there might be a memorable quote like, wow, did you hear what so-and-so said in the post game? But there's really none of that.
Right.
But again, I think it depends on the player. But for the most part, that's not the hockey players. It's just not their thing.
Right. And I'll leave it with this, because I want to go to the Steven Matz thing and get your perspective on that and give our reactions to that, and maybe
also too. I have a couple more hockey things. Then we'll definitely get to the Steven Matz.
Yeah, let's do it. But the last thing on this, though, Dubois, he did it. He didn't do it the right way, but he did it his way. And for hockey, that's kind of refreshing. Yeah. Just because in hockey you're taught to just shut up and shoot and don't say nothing, and well, they're Canadians, so they're nice people. So nothing's gonna really piss them off. For all the Canadian viewers, we do love you. Any recommendation for Tim Hortons? We're more than welcome.
Yes. Yeah, I want to go back to Toronto, man. Beautiful city, beautiful country in Canada.
Hockey players are normal. I agree with you. We agree there, buddy. We agree there. You're right. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. But
it's very even keel too. You rarely see. Coaches, you'll see it like Trotz yesterday, what he said, or Torts or Laviolette. Any of the coaches, they'll show emotion. Sometimes the players will show it, but they're usually very even keel, win or loss.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with being even keel and not, going off the real deep and crazy. Stern, what's up, brother? How are you, man?
What's up, Stern?
I know he's happy. He's boys.
Great first period. 3-zip.
I know you're happy, Stern. You know what I mean? No, I get his correlation. Hockey players are normal. They're as normal citizens as normal can be. But I do wish that they would speak out more, because at the end of the day, I don't like the fact that Tortorella has the ability to talk to any player the way he wants, or has the ability to.
And the way he talks about his team, I can understand if you say, we had a bad practice, or we didn't practice great, or we didn't have a great. But just the way, oh, we sucked, or oh, we this, or he was terrible, or like he singles guys out a lot. Too. I hate that.
Let's go out. Stern with the let's go Islanders. All right, Stern.
Let's go Islanders. There you go.
How are you, buddy? How you doing? Been a while.
But yeah, it's Torts is he's a
jerk off.
He's a jerk off. Can we just say it? He's a jerk off.
You're a jerk off, buddy. Because
always will be. I like. Don't you hate that? Like, listen, we get certain players just have a bad game, whether a pitcher has a bad start, or a goalie has a bad game, or a quarterback has a crappy game. Right. But you can't single them out. Like,
look,
I don't. That drives me nuts.
Right. All right, we're gonna bring you behind the curtain, folks. You ready for this? You want to come on the Nick and Steph show? You want to come behind the curtain? Here we are. Come with us. Come on this journey. Be a part of the family. Me and this guy have made a pact. Okay, we made a pact. For those that don't know what a pact is, we made a commitment to each other. We made an agreement. We said we're gonna start this show. We're gonna give our opinions, but the one thing we will not do is we will not bash players. We may not agree that players like to do things a certain way. We may not agree with how players. Oh yes,
it's obnoxious. Yes. You're 100% right.
You're right, Stern. Like we made a pact and we said, listen, man, we're gonna voice our displeasure if something doesn't feel right to us, and we feel like we need to talk about it with you, our family members, our long lost cousins that are a part of the Nick and Steph show community. But I will not bash a player. That's first of all, because I don't know how hard the game is. I don't know how hard playing sports was. And so I don't really understand. I don't understand how we can get on here or we can get on any other platform and say, well, this player is not good or this player is not great. I don't know what that player is going through, first of all, from a personal standpoint, a mental standpoint. I do know this. For them to be as good as they are, or for them to be at the level they're at, they got to be good at something. You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
You say Bailey sucks, but you say Bailey sucks because you want to win. But you know deep down inside, you couldn't take Josh Bailey one-on-one. They'll murder you.
Oh, of course. And I know he came up clutch and he's done some good things, but also too, when I say he sucks, I feel like it's like a reverse jinx.
It motivates him, right? No, but we say it like tongue in cheek. But for you to go to the media,
like if anybody else, like Bailey, like no one else could trash Bailey but an Islander fan, like
right. It's like the little brother that beats up the little brother. The moment the little brother's gone and somebody beats him up, the big brother wants to go and whip the other guys. You know what?
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't beat up on my little brother, man. Oh, but you do it. But that's my little brother. I'm allowed to. I could say, listen, for me, I could say the Knicks suck because I'm a Knicks fan and I watch them every day and I live with the pain. But the moment somebody else from another city says the Knicks suck, I get sensitive about that. Because they're my Knicks. I could say they suck.
Same with the Jets.
I watch them every day. If you don't understand that, then you don't understand sports. Like for everybody to say, oh, well, no. Listen, I've heard this too. Oh, well, you're a horrible reporter. I've had this said to me, oh, you're a horrible reporter. You lean to the gossip. You lean to the slants. You lean to the... Listen, you can say whatever you want, but say I'm a horrible reporter after...
That's just mean.
After I break a good story. Say I'm a horrible reporter after I get stories that most people don't get. Like Big Dog will tell you, I work my tail off for this stuff. And that's why when somebody says that to me, I laugh. But he, as my best friend, it pisses him off. He gets offended by it. It bothers him. Because he sees how hard this is. So I can't say that, we should say this person sucks. We don't know what they're going through. And honestly, me and Big Dog, and I know he feels the same way on this, we have a responsibility. Because whether we want to believe it or not, we are members of the media. This show is going out to whoever sees it around the world. We're on YouTube. we're on Periscope, we're on Facebook. We are officially members of the media. We have a responsibility that when we come on this show, we have to provide you with a little bit of fan. That's what Big Dog is. He's the fan. And then I got to give you the journalistic side. And when somebody just breaks all codes of respectful conduct and just says outrageous things, we're going to call you out on the show. I'm sorry. He's done it. I've done it. That's garbage how you can treat people this way. I'm moving on. Big Dog, what other hockey you got? Because that just
gotta treat people with respect and dignity. That's all I gotta say.
You kidding me with this garbage? And then we suck today. So I guess you sucked worse than everybody because you're the one that put the game plan together. So you suck worse.
Apparently, Torts, and that's another thing too. We don't take no blame. Doesn't take blame ever.
Did I start you? Did I rev
Blame
you?
it all.
There you go.
God damn it. I hated him when he was the Ranger coach. I mean, for obvious reasons. But he was also always just not going to say that word. No, just a jerk off. He's a douche. He's a douche. Okay? You want me to say douchebag? He's a douchebag, John Tortorella. There. Said it.
There.
Sorry if any kids watching, but
there.
Fire it up. Just broke my remote.
No, but and then listen, what example does that set for guys that want to be coaches or players that want to play?
I'm sure most of them are like, yeah, that ain't gonna be that. Like,
Tortorella,
I model my coaching style after him.
Tortorella is. Listen, how in good faith can you say, oh yeah, well that's the way I coach? Also, it's acceptable to disrespect people. It's acceptable to treat people like garbage. Really? It's just heartbreaking. What other hockey news you got? Because one thing. I'm going to do this. Get scared, Big Dog, because it never comes out of my mouth. But Coach K, I'm ashamed to call you my favorite college basketball coach. I'm ashamed.
What? He's like a god to you. Or was. I don't know. What did he say?
He still is, but I'm ashamed to love him right now. So he is interviewed by a college student. And the student asked them, hey, what do you – basically, I'm paraphrasing the question. You won your last back-to-back games. How are you feeling? And what do you think turned it around? So he basically belittles the student and asks them, what would you think you'd feel like if you got your degree in your field and you tried to do something with whatever degree you have? Wouldn't you feel good? We feel good, but we still have work to do. And I'm like, Coach K, that's
messed up. Why would he do that?
The
kid was asking a good question.
No, legitimate question, because I'm sorry, and I love Duke. We've been.
That's disgusting. I know that's your guy, Coach K, but that's terrible.
It is. That's what I'm saying. For me to point out that how bad that is, I love the guy, but I'm like, yeah, that's far. That's a little much. Because
awful.
And honestly, Coach K, it's not like we've been great, buddy. We've been this year. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm like, yo, come on, man. The kid's just asking you a legitimate question. And then, I hate when, these reporters get belittled and you can't ask a question because it's like beneath you to ask it. You kidding me? It's your job.
That bothers me.
It's your job to answer questions. It's your job. It's part of your job requirement as a head coach. If you don't want to talk to the media, then be done. And I love you, Coach K, but get over yourself. And you know how big of me that is to say, because I love him. My guy, but
I'm gonna know what. Round of applause for that.
like this guy knows how much of a Duke like psychopath I am.
Yeah.
You know. What other hockey news you got? I'm intrigued.
Couple other things. Jimmy Howard, longtime Detroit, as we like to say, Red Wings goalie, drafted by them actually in 2003.
Well, goddamn.
He only played in Detroit. He won the Stanley Cup in 2008 with them against Pittsburgh. He played 543 games. He had 246 wins, 196 losses. Save percentage, .912, which pretty good.
Well,
And his goals against average is 2.62. So congrats on the retirement, Jimmy Buzz.
you well deserved. Hot damn.
Yes. Unfortunately, though, kind of dealt with injuries later in his career. You know, kneecaps, Old Man River. It happens.
So when you get to Old Man River status and the kneecaps hoist, you gotta.
But he won a cup, was a super talented goalie in his prime. So congrats on the retirement, and best to you and your future endeavors. Now, one more thing before we get to the Steven Matz thing, which I'm a little upset about, but
he's heartbroken. He texted me as soon as I broke the. We traded Steven Matz, damn it.
Yeah, and I'll explain why in a minute. Vegas versus St. Louis, which I was going to watch after the Islander game, but it's unfortunately postponed. A Vegas player and member of the coaching staff are entering the NHL's COVID protocols. The training facility is closed till further notice.
Very smart of you, NHL.
I have to say, the NHL has been doing the best job, the best job, in my opinion, of all the major sports.
Right.
In terms of, of handling COVID.
You're good.
So.
You're good.
But that really stinks. That was a marquee last night's game, and I'm so mad because I'm old. I fell asleep. St. Louis was up 4-2. Vegas comes back late in the third, and the game goes to. I think they might have won. Let me check because I don't want to get it wrong here. Either a shootout or overtime.
Oh,
but the game was good from what I was watching up until I fell asleep.
Yeah, before your rage kicked in, you can't stay up no more.
Yeah, the Blues won 5-4 in a shootout.
Well,
and, it was significant because of Alex Pietrangelo leaving St. Louis and going to Vegas. So,
right.
But when they play again, that's definitely a marquee matchup.
Oh.
For sure to watch out for. But yeah, in terms of Steven Matz, listen, I know this guy criticizes me all the time. Like, you're too connected to players. You can't love them unless they win for you. Or you get attached too easy. Listen, I don't care. I get attached to players, win, lose, draw. Like, this Islander team for years, I love all these dudes. The Jets I once did, but now no really connection. But the Mets, I felt something.
Wait, can I break your heart even more? This was just released on Steven Matz's Twitter account.
Oh, God.
An hour ago. I will always be grateful to the Mets for the opportunity to play for my hometown team. Thank you to all the Met fans. Thank you to all the Met fans for all your support throughout my time in NY. And thanks to my teammates, coaches, I wish you nothing but the best of luck moving forward. Sincerely, Steven.
Oh, yeah. He's still a diehard Met fan and deep down. I'm sure he's going to root for us to win. But, yeah, that's the reason. Listen, Long Island kid, grew up a Met fan, would go to Met games with his family. I could relate to that. So, growing up a Met fan. So, and then to play with your hometown team and to pitch it. The game me and my dad went to, Game 4, he pitched that night.
Right.
So that was really cool.
Right.
To see that. They lost that game, unfortunately. But, yeah, is, that's cool when the hometown people come and play for your team, and you get and plus too, and of course I love Syndergaard and I love DeGrom, although certain things DeGrom has done in the past not in favor of, but I mean he's awesome player.
Syndergaard.
But that's the obvious choice.
You mean Syndergaard, because Syndergaard's been kind of. You said DeGrom.
What did I thought I said Syndergaard. Who did I say?
DeGrom.
Oh, yes. Thank you for correcting me.
Ask memory.
Yeah, I'm really having a day today. But
no, I get it. You get connected. He was a Met fan. He pitched for his hometown team.
Even Matt Martin, I'm so happy he's back. He's not from here, but you feel like he is. He's been here so long. He loves the island. He loves the area.
All right, somebody get this guy some.
Loves the Islanders.
Somebody get this guy some Kleenex. Here he goes.
Don't judge you. Okay, if you want to be a cynic and just get rid of everybody on your team, you do that. But me, I gotta connect with these guys. So, oh my God.
There, look at him. Look at him.
There they are, the fourth line.
Eyes are well enough.
And they've been here a long time. Cizikas has been here since 2013, and Matt Vaughn's been here longer than that. Bailey's been here since 2008.
Well, God, I can't. No, but the Superman thing.
Now, I think maybe a new now on baseball terms. I think a new start. I think is good for him. An up and coming Blue Jay team,
right?
So.
They got two guys like that. Him and Robbie Ray are like reclamation projects, and they're both lefties, and they throw pretty hard. They got pretty good velocity. His slider maybe can regain some form. So you're hoping that, the Blue Jays pitching coach, Pete Walker.
Sorry, don't they score again?
Blue Jays pitching coach, Pete Walker, could get him back to what he was. It's just, it sucks when you lose a guy like that, because he was brought up a Met, and, for the Met fans that, loved watching him pitch, it's an emotional time. However, I do appreciate that even when he would pitch bad, he was always in front of his locker. He was always responsible. He was always the guy that says, I didn't pitch up to my best and I need to do better. And he was always good when he didn't pitch well. So
I feel so bad for him, though. Just going back to that, though, being from here, being a Met fan, and you want to pitch so well, but injuries, it happens. But,
and bad performance. He
was really good remember in 2015, his first game. Remember that he got a couple of hits. His grandfather going mental in the press box. He was like, "Go!" His whole family was there. It was cool.
Grandpa Matt.
He pitched great in the postseason.
Oh yeah.
So,
I mean, it's tough, but hopefully.
Yeah, but you're like, but
No, it's. I'm not judging.
You sure about that?
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Maybe a little. Maybe a little bit. No, but listen, in all actuality, when you lose a hometown kid like that, it's hard. I'm not even gonna sit there and lie to you. And listen, and the Mets have done a really good job this offseason, quietly putting together a quality club. And look, this may open the door for Trevor Bauer. The Trevor Bauer to the Mets feels very, very real right now. The Blue Jays have said they're out of this. They don't want to get anywhere near it. But they need pitching, which is what I don't understand. If I'm Toronto, I'm talking to every free agent pitcher on the face of human earth.
They are getting to be pretty exciting up there in the north.
Right. And that because that offense is legitimate.
George Springer, Vlad Jr.,
Marcus Simeon just signed with them a 1
Craig
year.
Biggio's son. I always forget the son's name.
Gavin.
There you go. I just say Craig Biggio's son. It's easier.
No, Gavin. No. I get
They're up and coming, and you've been saying it for a while. So the Yankees got some competition because you still got Tampa, now Toronto.
And here's the thing. And if Tampa can figure out this pitching, now if Toronto can figure out this pitching, like Jake Odorizzi would be big for Tampa. Get him on a 2-3 year deal, maybe close to $40-50 million. You may be able to pull something off with that. It's just Toronto's offense. You don't want to waste that offense with bad pitch games.
Right.
Like I'm not even lying, bro. I was looking at that line. I'm like, yo, this lineup's going to score like 5 runs a game. Easily. And that's on a bad night. They might score like between 7 to 10 runs a game. That's how deep that offense is. When you got Vladdy's hitting 6th. I looked at the line. I was like, what are you doing here? Like, wait a minute. Whoa. And I'm like, okay, now I'm a little scared because now if you get to pitching, now I'm like, now it's one of those things where you can't take the Blue Jays for granted anymore. They're not like the little engine that could. This offense is very real. So as the young kids say, I don't want none of that Canadian bacon hickory smoke. We are out on that. A couple more interesting baseball notes. I don't know if you guys saw the video yesterday. I'm sure you have. Thank you guys for watching it. But your boy, or one of his boys, Kris Bryant, Mets, Cubs, Blue Jays, all in conversation. Who gets him?
Bidding war. The Mets and Blue Jays are like the two teams this year that are just
in on everybody and their mama. If you're a free agent, we in on you. If we can trade for you, we in on you. I mean, but you want to hear irony though? Guess who's been connected to the Mets in like the last couple days?
Who?
Justin Turner. How would you feel about Justin Turner reunion to play third for you guys for 2 years? Would you be okay with this? Like kind of like.
I mean, listen, the guy.
I mean, yo, his bat.
I would take him back certainly. Just got to keep the mask on. You can't be, doing none of this. No, leaving a mask off. I'll welcome you back, but you got to leave the mask on.
But if you had to choose, I know you like Kris Bryant though, but
oh yeah, I'd rather Kris Bryant though over Justin Turner.
Kris Bryant's gonna cost you it's gonna be hard to pull off because I don't think the depth is there from that standpoint, and I think the Washington
No, the Cizikas hit off the post.
Oh,
2-on-1. Shoot it down.
No. So this and this all season feels like the stove feels like it's finally starting to get warm. We had DJ signed Masahiro Tanaka back to Japan,
and I always go ahead. I'm sorry.
Masahiro Tanaka back to Japan. I was sorry to see him go because that was my boy in big games. That sucks. But I'm a little sad today to see Masa go back to Japan.
How come no other team wanted him or couldn't afford him?
In this climate, man, he wanted like $15 to $20 million a year, and I don't know how feasible it is in this current climate. Pandemic, nobody really wants to spend crazy money. And this luxury tax, everybody's trying to adhere to this $210 million luxury tax. So, it sucks. It really does. I find it fascinating how many frees like Didi's still out there. Didi's unsigned.
Really?
Yasiel Puig unsigned. Like Jake Odorizzi unsigned. Nelson Cruz unsigned. I'm like, what? Like,
yeah, that's kind of crazy.
A little bit. I'm like, bro, like Nelson Cruz hit 40 home runs 2 years ago. The guy wakes up in the morning, stretches out his arthritic knees, and is ready to go. He's gonna hit till he's 70, and he's not signed. Oh, I have to, Big Dog. You always yell at me, and now's the time for him to yell at me. And folks, he's got it right, so I can't fight him. Big Dog, baseball is making itself look foolish. You're making yourself look foolish. So now there's rumors that there was going to be the DH in both leagues, with both sides want, by the way, but the players' union is being stubborn because, oh, well, we want to win it our way and we want to do this all. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with this garbage? So you're going to ruin the integrity of the sport because you want to win and you want to win your way. So you're going to turn down expanded playoffs when they're always crying about money that brings you more money. You're going to cry about the universal DH and say no to that when it can get your players, your constituents, more money. For the love of God, can you help me? Major League Baseball, can you help yourself? And then already you're hearing that, you know, the players feel like the owners are trying to delay the season, and people.
No, that's not good.
People. Do you understand we're in the middle of a pandemic? You do understand we're in the middle of a pandemic, right? You do get that, right? Do you know the two spots where the pandemic is raging the most right now? Guess. Florida, where the Grapefruit League is played for the Eastern teams, Yankees, Blue Jays, you know, Florida, and Arizona. Specifically, Maricopa County, for those that watched the 2020 election, the name Maricopa is still seared in my brain. Seared. It's literally, I can't leave. So, and you want to play baseball in the middle of a pandemic where those two spots are at the highest rate. Are you kidding me, Major League Baseball? What is this? Can we get together like grown men and stop farting around with this? Like, no wonder why Big Dog calls our sport antiquated and thinks we're all selfish and we're all greedy. Good, Big Dog, you have a right to say how you feel. You officially have that right. You have the right to say it. Stern,
Yeah,
you make
absolutely.
He makes the point of all point. Thank you, Stern. Big Dog, do you agree?
Absolutely. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't want a DH. It would benefit your sport.
You make
Even
more
expanded
money.
playoffs. Why wouldn't you want more games, more TV money, more attendance? Well, when people can go back. And more, I think it makes the sport more intriguing because I've always said it. I'm not the biggest baseball fan. Stefan knows that. But for me, like guys like you, Rick, Amelia, you know,
Right.
why, if you're a diehard baseball fan, you put all that energy into a 162 game season, wouldn't you want it to last a little bit longer and to add like a couple more teams?
There you go. Right.
The playoffs only last a month. Now, again, I think the season should be like 100 games, 90 games.
We agree on that.
Will they ever do that? Probably not. Maybe sometime in the future.
I mean, if you, all right, we'll play this. Let's just get it to an even number. Let's say you play 120 games.
That's still a lot, but all right, let's play with that for a minute. 120.
20, right? You get it down to, let's say 115, 120. You play, and you don't start the season in the brick temperatures in like March. You start.
Yeah, it's still frigid. Yeah.
Start the season in June.
Right.
Whether you're not sitting there with a blankie on stadium going shivering. Can't feel my feet. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, like you don't feel like you're dying. You can actually.
I always thought that baseball should start in June, like when hockey and basketball.
And
Capitals scored.
And when those sports end, baseball should start.
Here's what I would do, and I think you agree because we've talked about this numerous of times.
Right.
Let's start. I think hockey should shorten its season like 62 games, 60 games, something like that. I'm good with it. Start in January, like mid-January, like when football's like about to end. You play your season playoffs. Same thing with basketball. Shorten the season too, like 62, 60 games.
Right.
Then baseball start in June. Once those two sports end, you got the whole summer, then through October.
Right.
I don't know. I think it would be a great idea.
And it lends itself to expanded playoffs.
I agree.
Because,
Do you think there could be a future of neutral site playoff series? Because I think too, like let's say you want to expand playoffs, right? But it goes into November. Maybe the playoffs.
Honestly, they might do what they do in the Super Bowl. Put it in a warm weather climate. You don't got to get postponements. Put it in San Diego. Put it in LA. You know what I mean?
And you know what, too? That offers people, like if you put it in cities like that or Miami or even tourist destinations, think about it, right? Big cities like that. So.
And that's how you grow the game, honestly.
Bad idea.
You grow the game like that because then you get all the warm weather cities involved, and now people want to come out and watch your product. And I thought I wouldn't like this, but I'm a fan of the 7-inning doubleheaders. I love it. I thought I would hate it, but I'm like, hey, you get to watch 2 games, and instead of 6 hours, you watch them in 3.5 or 4.5. I'm good with that.
Yeah, most of the 7-inning games took 2.5 hours. That's why to me they should move. I know everybody hates it. The idea
I wouldn't do that for
7-inning games.
But I wouldn't. I mean, if you want to do that for the double headers, cool. So you're not at the yard all day. I'll give you that. But a regular game, I can't go 7 innings. You're ruining. I need the last 2 innings. There's strategy involved in this.
That don't ruin nothing. It makes it more exciting. It speeds the game up.
I mean,
more intensified.
This is true.
Like imagine a 7-inning playoff game, like heart attack.
What are you doing to me? What are you doing?
No, but that'd be fun. Come on.
Fun for you. I'd be clutching the chess piece all the way through. Fun. You hear this guy? Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah. Yeah, but speaking of fun, this was fun. That last exchange wasn't fun. Oh my God, what is wrong with you?
What last exchange?
This last
7 innings, man.
What is wrong?
You want to expand your sport? You got to speed it up.
I agree with that, Stern.
Get all teams off. Interesting.
I agree with that.
It's a good idea.
Because these baseball players are talking about we always, the travel, they score to get that. I think we're leaving at the right time. We're leaving at the right time because he's about to lose his mind. And I mean, although I know you would love to witness it, I don't think it'll be good for the show. Anyway, no, Stern, I agree with you. I think that's a great point. And I think right now, if you're Major League Baseball, since you're losing popularity, all of these initiatives should be on the table. To me, at least. Because it gives you a sense of what people are looking for, how can they make the game more fun, and like you said, for the novice baseball fan like yourself, 9-inning games can be a little bit arduous, to say the least. So if you shorten it up a little bit, you might actually get some people in here that might actually enjoy watching, your sport, watching these guys play. And maybe you get a team like the Angels in the playoffs. You get all these teams.
Yeah, like you get newer teams in the playoffs. It makes it more exciting.
Right. And honestly, I'd love to see a guy like Mike Trout get to make the playoffs. That would be more appealing, but I understand why baseball sticks to its guns.
I told Mom I was going to eat it tomorrow.
Stick to its guns. It just
I don't think I'm going to eat it tonight.
it ruins the sport in terms of the casual fan viewership. What are they talking about eating over there, big dog? As he enters the picture, what food are we talking about over there?
Chili.
Oh my god!
3-3. We gave up at 3-0. I can't believe this.
What's the score?
3-3. Oh my god!
Listen, this guy's gonna need counseling, so I'm gonna let him go. Big dog, thank you for doing the show, even in the middle of the game.
You got it.
I'll check on you in a little while. Get yourself together here. All right. We'll see you guys Monday, 6:30 Eastern. And I'm gonna make an executive decision. We'll see you guys Monday. And I don't think there's gonna be a Thursday show next week. I think we need to recharge the batteries, and we'll see you guys Saturday for the Saturday before the Super Bowl.
See you then.
So no Monday there will be a show. No Thursday show next week, and then Saturday we'll see you guys on Saturday for the game for the show before the Super Bowl. We'll have some soccer analysis, and if things break, and if you want to know what's going on, things break as the viewership goes up right before we go off. This always happens to us.
What?
The viewership's going up, right? We're about to get
How
up.
many?
We're at 4 viewers now all of a sudden. Are you kidding me? This is great. This is great. Always when we get off.
Always.
No, but we'll let you guys know. So I'm thinking Monday show, and then we'll skip Thursday, and we'll see you guys Saturday next week before Super Bowl 55. All right? So have a great night as Big Dog tries to catch his bearings as his boys are about to send him into Anyway, later guys, and we'll talk soon. Have a great night. Big Dog, just breathe, will you? Breathe. Breathe.
So aggravating.
Anyway, back and better than ever. Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Join us.
Eh.
Mm-hmm.